Hi all dear aspirants and welcome to today's video. So how to win at life. I know I am an IAS mentor or an IAS aspirant myself, and this is no way for me to discussing about all these philosophical wisdoms or all these high mystical kind of questions and all. But I just want to say that whatever's inside us can only be given out, and whatever's inside us will be oozed out. For example, if we are someone full of confidence and full of assurance by ourselves, that will be projected outside, and that will drastically improve our preparations. Suppose you are someone with low self-esteem or low self-confidence. The problem is that there are tendencies or chance for you to self-sabotage your preparations, and we might think that we are lazy or we are procrastinating so much, but the problem or the issue lies is that we don't have the confidence in us. We don't give ourselves the chance that we deserve this. So sometimes we tend to laze around or procrastinate. So the root cause of all the problems is low self-esteem or confidence. So if we have the confidence, we can have the willpower, and if we have the willpower, we can surely crack these examinations, and more importantly, prepare well and give ourselves the best version of ourselves. So yes, I'm going to discuss all these practical solutions and practical steps which will enable us to be the best version that we ourselves deserve. So the utmost problem is that we tend to live in three categories or three phases of our life. So one is past, present and future. So we're going to tackle all the past problems first, and then we'll get on to the present and then the future. So the past. So the human tendency, or if I would say a flaw of humans, is that we tend to remember most of our past problems, or just discuss our problems, your past problems with your friends, discuss that with your families, and keeping on reliving your past moments or past problems that you had with. The problem is that even though it happened in the past, we are still living in the past. So we have to get over it. And yes, I know I am no way judging your past problems. We all have lots of issues by ourselves. Some will be having personal problems, financial problems, and then the other diseases or ailments that we are having it. But the thing is that in order for us to get to the future, we have to get out from the past and get to the present. So I'll tell you how to do it. I would suggest you to get a piece of paper, and you could just divide the sheet into two, or you could just draw a line, or however that is more easier for you. And one side you could write down all the past, that is, write a heading and writing past and list out all the problems that you had. Sometimes one sheet of paper wouldn't be enough for you, but this is just an example, hypothetical example. You could write down all the past problems. I lost something, or I lost my friend, or something, all the problems or all the emotional turbulences that we had to encounter in our past. Write it on this side, and yes, on this side write down the benefits. So each problems, according to it, write the benefit. For example, there was a situation wherein I had to endure a certain types of personal problems, and yes, that was supposed to be the most darkest phase of my life, but the benefit I got out of it is that, suppose if this is my sheet, I would write so and so x and xx problem that happened in my life, but the benefit I got out of it is that I became more matured. I started to realizing who the genuine people are and who are the real or true well-wishers of my life. And instead of being an open book to the others, I started to reflecting all the problems that I had by myself and going inwards and asking myself what happened in it. So in a way, I could say that I'm more matured, I'm more grounded. So I would request you to do that first. Write down all the problems that you had to encounter in your past, and then write down the benefits. And even for the benefits part, sometimes you might need more than 2 or 3 pages, and if you can't even think of a benefit, you have to think it out. And suppose you're not getting the points now, it's okay, leave it as such. Write down all the problems on the one side, maybe in the morning or after a fresh waking up from your bed, or after having a bath or something, when you're all fresh and refreshed, you could write down the benefits however way possible. And once you have the list ready, what you should do? You should read out the benefits first. Okay, we have the problems over here, but read out the benefits over here. Read it twice, and then tear out the page in middle like this, and then throw away the problems that you had. Now concentrate only on the benefits. Whatever that you have right now, it's all because of the problems. Now you're done away with the problems, but what is sticking out with you? The benefits. So this is actually sort of like symbolic, or sort of like manifesting it, and you're manifesting the benefits in you and acknowledging all the benefits that you had in your life. And one proverb, I think I found it in Facebook or somewhere, but that actually stick around with me, and the proverb is that One day the mountain that is in front of you will be so far behind you, it will barely be visible in the distance. But the person you become in learning to get over it, that will stay with you forever. And that is the point of mountain. The problems that we have in our life or encounter in our life, the reason that we have it is to be a better person or to upgrade our level. That is like max. The more problems that you work out, or the more complicated problems that you work out in max, that will help you to be the better person that you are, or be a better expert in max subject. So that's how our personal problems are. I know this is no way justifying your problems that we had. We all had to share with a certain deal amount of all these negativities and bad problems. Sometimes we were the victims and sometimes we were the villains, but who cares? It's okay. And when you're writing down the problems, even write down the problems that we created for someone else. The guilt could be heavy, or something that we are wrongdoing that we are done. It's okay. Write it down and just tear it away, but the benefits is what that's sticking with you, and just keep that always in it. And you could even stick that on the wall and keeping on reminding you that this is what you are right now, and your past is nowhere to be seen. And now coming to our present, and in a way we are actually out of our past and living in a present. So how to make a present even more better, or even more compatible for us? So one word I would like to give you is that we're going to encounter lots and lots of problems. Yes, we once stared off all the problems that we had in the past, but yes, again in the present we're going to encounter n number of problems in our life, but we have to be all ready up, we have to be all skilled up to tackle all the problems. I would like to say is that whenever a problem comes to you, we have two choices, either to evolve or to remain the same. So if you're willing to evolve or find a solution or concrete solutions and willing to change ourselves from the situation for the better, then I would like to say is that the problems is nowhere to be seen. This won't be a problem to you. But if you're choosing to remain, or if you're having a fear of the next path, or if you are fearing to take the blind step forward, then I would like to say that this problems is going to be forever in your life, and it will be recycling, and the same problem will be coming to you in different formats. So either you have to evolve or remain, or you will be having the same problem again and again. You will be having to encounter the same problems in different forms altogether, but the problems will always be there until we tackle it. And yes, for tackling it, we have to get out from the comfort zone. We have to have the confidence, the self-empowerment that we have to ourselves. And a piece of advice that I would like to give you is that suppose you're going to a gym for the first time in your whole life, and you cannot just go jump into 50 kilograms of bars and just lift it up. No, you can't do that. You have to do the warm-ups. Probably you have to start off with 500 grams or 1 kgs, and I'm not sure with all these nuances of these gym terms and all, but yes, there is a process in which you will be, it might take 3 or 4 months to get into the 500 kgs, these bars and dumbbells and all. So same way goes to our confidence, our resilience, our willpower. We have to slowly build little by little. And sometimes I get all these calls or WhatsApp messages from all these new upcoming aspirants, is that they're full of motivation, they just want to do it. But the problem is that you should never ever start whatever that you're doing. I'm just giving an example of your civil service preparations. Suppose you're going to start with your civil service preparations for the first time. Do not start with 10 hours or 12 hours of work in the first day itself. You have to start little by little. You have to start up with the resistance. Probably you would just work only for 1 hour first day, and you could just go on for 2-3 days, and on the 5th day you could just maximize the duration of the time to 2 or 3 hours, and then probably after a month only you can get into 3 to 4 hours. The problem is that if you're starting with lots of all these energy and motivations, it will be burning out after few weeks or sometime for months for some people. And that goes also for confidence. Do not say that okay, I'm going to get over my fear, I'm going to get over my fear of stage fright, I'm going to get on the stage and do a speech in front of 500 crores of people. No, you can't do that. The problem is that if you fumble it, or if you make a mistake, if you stammer in front of a stage, and that will negatively impact all the confidence that we had mustered up. So we have to start little. Probably you could start with little exercises. You could just talk yourself in a mirror, or you could take a video of yourself speaking about a topic, or you could have a YouTube channel, or you could do something else. And I've made a video on how to be a confident assertive IAS aspirant, and you can click on the link above, or you could have any other methods in which we all have our own thresholds and measurements in different levels. and some people it might take some more time, and some people it might be, we could get on the process quickly. So whatever it is, go on a slower pace, and little by little build on your confidence, build on your willpower. You can't be all of a sudden say that, okay, I'm going to stay up all night and study, because that's going to negatively impact your studies, because the next day you're going to laze around. Why? Because of low self-esteem or low confidence. And this is no way pointing my fingers at anyone, because everyone has to deal with confidence and low esteem. I am a very much victim of all these low self-confidence and low self-esteem, and it was a very huge struggle for me to get over it. And I would say that it took me like 24 to 25 years to get over my fear of, I would say it was an imposter syndrome. And imposter syndrome is actually a very fancy name for all these low self-esteem and confidence. And I would say that I was actually a victim of imposter syndrome, of having low self-confidence and all. So once I started believing in myself, and it wasn't an all of a sudden process, it was slowly by slowly, and the appreciations, when that builds up, that will also add on to your confidence. So that is the one that you have to do. And I just want to say that we all are dealing with all sorts of issues and problems, and I'm no way in a way saying that all these are trivial or insignificant. I've said it already, and I'm just again repeating the point, is that, and our own issues and problems are important for ourselves. But just the thought that if we can't even solve our problems that we're having right now, which is our personal problems, and which to an extent is in our control, how are you going to be an IAS officer? And IAS officer, that is, it's a humongous task, and the issues that we're going to have to deal with lots of issues. We're going to have lots of politics in it. We have lots of backstabbing and all these issues. I think there's no films to justify all these problems that an IAS officer have to encounter daily and each day, but still keeping on going on about it. And how are you going to tackle that? Sometimes when we become an IAS officer, and when we turn back and see that, okay, the problems that I had to encounter 10 or 15 or even 3 years back were such small and trivial, and we have to build in our resistance, we have to build in our confidence, and try to calm ourselves throughout the storm. Another exercise for building our confidence is that just go collect a pen and paper. Please collect a pen and paper, and do not watch further without doing the exercise along with me, because you're going to ruin it for yourself, and this can be done only once. So if you just see this video and you think you can later on do it, no, it will be ruining all the essence of it, because it's a sort of like a surprise exercise, if I would call it. So you could just pause the video and go get a pen and paper, because you can't do it twice. You can just do this exercise only once in your life. And I would say that this exercise really impacted me, and still this affects me. So for that reason, please kindly pause the video and go get a pen and paper, and I'll wait for you here. So I am sure that you have got your pen and paper, and the exercise is that this is something that my father had made me and my siblings do when we were kids, and really affected me a lot. And I'm actually grateful that I've stumbled across this exercise, and I'm going to share that all with you. And again, if you don't have a pen and paper, please do get it. You could just pause the video and go get it, because you can only do it once, and if you watch the video without doing it, it will totally ruin it for you. Okay, so let's get on with it. I'm not sure whether you could all see it, but I try to make it more visible. So my exercise is that I'm making lines like this. Okay, can you see the lines that I've made? Okay, so I'm saying that I can make, let's see, 20 such lines like this in 1 minute. So I'm just saying that I can make such 20 lines in 1 minute. So this is my idea of it, and I am just saying my count based on my potential or my capability. I'm just saying 20. So I'm saying that I can make 20 such lines in 1 minute. So what you have to do is that there might be a number in your mind, how many numbers that you could do. So just write it down in the corner. So mine is 20, so I'll write it over here, and I'll just put a circle over it. All right, so you could pause the video if you want and then do it. Do not think too much, okay? Do not think too much and just write it out. It's okay. Do not think too much and just write it. Okay. And the next rule that I would like to give you is that I'm going to say start, and you have to start making the lines but without stopping. Without stopping, you have to keep on doing it, and I would say start, and at the end of 1 minute I will tell you to stop, and then you have to stop. And while making the lines, you cannot count. You cannot say 1 2 3 4 5. You can't do that. You have to keep on doing it without taking your hands or without stopping it. So I think you're all ready. So let me just get my stopwatch over here. So I'm going to start now. I really hope you're all ready with your pen and paper, and even written down the number or the estimate number that you think you could make in 1 minute. And again, do not count while writing it, while making the lines, and do not stop. Okay, do not stop until I say it, and preferably get a longer one so that you wouldn't have to flip the paper and waste the time. So I think if you're ready, we'll start. Okay, 3 2 1 start. Stop. Okay, stop. 1 minute up, stop. And I would say that you should start counting your lines, and sometimes in some cases it will be so much impossible for you to count the lines because the lines are too many, but still again keep on counting. And you could just pause the video and count, but I think I'll just keep on going. Is that you have written the number which is very much less in comparison to the lines that you have made. Sometimes the lines that you have made might be 2 times or 3 times a bigger number that you have written over here. So the problem or the lesson that we could learn from here is that we all tend to underestimate ourselves. We just say that okay, this is only our capability, we don't have much power beyond that. But the problem is that we are not seeing ourselves, we are not seeing our potential, we are not seeing our capability. And until and unless we don't give ourselves a chance to do it, we are not going to know it. And only if we get the chance, and only if we are giving a full percent to it, that is not doing for the sake of doing, but doing it with 100% sincerity, 100% confidence, and 100% your utmost dedication, only you will get your desired result, and that is your true potential. So my moral over here is that just don't think about it, just know that you are more than capable of it. And that is the reason why you're watching this video, because you all want to make ourselves the better person that we are, better person that we all deserve to be. So this is my moral or take from this exercise. And the another exercise that I would give you is that we all daydream, right? That we all daydream, and sometimes we daydream ourselves to standing in front of a stage and singing in all these different songs, these amazing songs. And sometimes we doing a dance performance and being an IAS officer ourselves, and going in all these luxurious cars and vehicles, and having a delegations and meetings with all these things. Being an IAS officer, that will be our biggest daydreaming activity throughout the day. Everyone does it, I do it, and we all are guilty of that. So the problem is not that, the problem is that we are only daydreaming the end result of it. What we have to daydream, we have to daydream the process of it. And what is the process? Studying, preparing, completing the schedule, completing your task within the time limit. So once next time you're doing it, try to daydream yourself completing within the stipulated time, or daydreaming yourself completing all the tasks that you've given within the amount of time, and then completing certain books. And thing is that if you can't even daydream such concepts in your head, how are you gonna do it in your life? So first dream about it, and only then you can do the action, that do the actions of preparing, or do the actions of hard working. So daydream all the hard working process, daydream all these amazing experience that you get that you are gonna get with all these preparations and all. So our approach should be always input oriented rather than the output oriented. That is, for me, I can only give a guarantee that I'm going to make a video, or I'm going to give my 100% in making this particular video, but I cannot say that okay, I'm going to make this video and I'm going to make this viral, because that is beyond my control. So I have to daydream, or I have to work on the stuff which is only in my control. And what is in our control? Preparing for it, doing our best, doing utmost sincerity in what we are doing. And what is that? Preparations. And there is no point for us to praying to God to make you an IAS officer or an IPS officer, or even daydream ourselves wearing the IPS uniform and all. We have to do the process, we have to do the input process. And what is that? Doing the work, completing the work, and reading the books, revising the book, or doing all these activities related to it. So our approach should be always input oriented rather than the output oriented. And I would just like to conclude my video by saying that only when you start daydreaming of all these processes, for all these hard work initiatives that you're doing, and then making actually all these come true, that will add up so much to your confidence, and it will give you so much of courage to go pursue your dreams. And I just want to say that once you'll start noticing one aspect of your life being more successful, it will totally radiate to the other spectrums of your life as well. You must have seen back in school is that all the toppers, they are they're good at everything that they're doing. They're good at dance, singing, and all the things that they're doing. The reason is that once you are confident enough, it will be starting to manifesting in the other aspects as well. So first start daydreaming all the process and make all that come true, and then it will add up all your confidence and courage. So this was my short video on how to win at life, and I would like to give you a guarantee that this is something which is trial and tested. And I was someone who was totally struggling in my life, and I'm not saying that I have overcome all this, but I'm actually at a better place. And I really hope that you, all the aspirants and anyone who's watching this video, could do better in your life and give yourselves what you actually deserve. So all the best, and bye everyone.